Thanks for tuning in to the Palm Beach Podcast, a weekly show highlighting people making a positive impact in our community. With your hosts, sports chiropractor and athletic trainer, Dr. James Spencer, photographer and art director, Mike Jones. Our show is brought to you by Pump House Coffee Roasters, Hopportunities in Delray Beach, and the Lotus Travel Company for retreats and tours in Palm Beach County. Hello and welcome to the Palm Beach Podcast. My name is Mike Jones, hanging out at Media Zone with a couple cool people. Dr. James Spencer, how you doing today, buddy?
Beautiful, bro. Always a pleasure to see you, you know that.
Well, shucks.
And fortunately, sunny blue skies out there today.
Driving over that Blue Heron Bridge is a treat.
It was foggy this morning, however, but fortunately it cleared up.
Winter in Florida.
Gotta love it.
Freezing 71 degrees in the morning.
I just took my big parka jacket off.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I
I
did.
know.
Clearly, right? So we got a special guest in the studio today. Melinda Grenz, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, why don't you introduce yourself to the guests?
So I'm Melinda Grenz, as you said, and I am the marketing director at the South Florida Science Center in West Palm Beach.
And from what we were just discussing before we went on, it's been there for a long time.
It has, yeah. So the South Florida Science Center and Aquarium actually was founded in 1961 by the Junior League of the Palm Beaches. Not sure if you're familiar with them.
That's incredible.
But yeah, they're a women-led organization that that they promote volunteerism and philanthropy for the betterment of the community. And so we like to say that we have founding mothers instead of founding fathers at the Science Center.
I like that.
Girl power, right?
Hey.
And so 1961, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary this year, if you can believe it or not.
That's truly incredible. And in the original site too, yeah?
Yep, the original site. And so we originally started off as a natural history and space science museum that was for, just students to come in and tour. And we have now grown into a full-fledged over 40,000 square foot science center and aquarium. So we have lots to offer. We have over 100 hands-on exhibits. We have a full dome planetarium that's been newly renovated over the years. So you can come and see traditional star shows, laser shows. We have a lot of fun in there. We also have a 10,000 gallon aquarium. That was a huge expansion we did back in 2013. And we have dozens and dozens of freshwater and saltwater animals in there. And then we also have a beautiful outdoor space. So we're not just an indoor facility, but we have an outdoor space that has a full 18-hole mini golf course. That was...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you would like that.
I hear a challenge.
Yeah.
Well, I laugh because that's our go-to challenge between Mike and I and the family.
Okay, well, it's on now. Pick a date.
His wife is like a big, you-know-what talker, before, but always after, she's a little quiet,
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do with her because it's a tough course. It's a Nicholas and Fazio designed course.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty tough course. It's not your average mini golf course that has windmills and clown mouths. It's a beautiful Florida conservation themed course. So it looks like a giant course that they've built on Palm Beach Island, and they just shrunk it down to a mini version, and it's got butterflies flying around and babbling brooks, and it's a really peaceful course that's actually quite challenging. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think Fazio also designed Jupiter Hills.
Sounds like we got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm almost positive he did. That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. So that's only half of our backyard renovation. The other half has a brand new physics forest. We have a dinosaur trail for you dinosaur nerds out there.
Yeah.
We also
Evo.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
be
my
over.
son.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He loves them.
Bring them by. They're permanent dinosaurs out there. And we also have splash pads for the younger kids. He might be a little too old for that. And then also a brand new amphitheater that we just debuted back in last May, which was perfect in COVID time. So we were able to take a lot of our science programming outside.
Yeah.
And so that's the
I thought you were being
brand
sarcastic. You're like, yeah, we just spent a ton of money in.
No, we actually raised that money before the
Cool.
shutdowns, which was perfect timing for us because when we opened it, we just started outside for phase one, and then we slowly worked our way up from there, which we could talk about a little bit later. But that's a little bit about the Science Center. Our mission is to open all minds to science. So we're not just a kids organization. We do serve all ages and all demographics.
I love it. And let's talk a little bit about the nonprofit aspect.
Yeah, so we're a 501c3 nonprofit. So a lot of our money that we make is literally through our visitorship through the door, through membership sales. We do have a very active board that helps us raise money in the community. And so if somebody is interested in supporting the Science Center and our programs, our exhibits, or any of our initiatives, you can learn more about that on our website.
Awesome. And what's some goals for the amphitheater? What would you guys like to host there? What's some future ideas with that?
Great question. The amphitheater, we're so excited about it. The Cox Amphitheater, it has so much potential because it's nestled in our Science Trail, and you have these beautiful trees to the right of it, and then to the left you have the golf course and the whole Science Trail. So we can safely fit, over 100 families out there, 6 feet apart.
Wow.
And so it's a really big, beautiful space. It's got audio, it's got visual equipment out there. We've been doing laser shows out there. I mentioned laser shows earlier.
Yeah.
So we took them out of our planetarium and put them on the outdoor stage. And on the second Friday of every month, we have different theme shows, Beatles, Floyd, Zeppelin.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And
What's
so
the
they're a
next
lot of
one
fun.
coming up?
The next one is March 12th, and that's Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
My dad goes bonkers for this stuff. He lives in Myrtle Beach, and he goes to the laser shows at the
Really?
Aquarium or whatever there all the time.
Hey, we may have to go there. I like that.
Yeah, second Friday of every month.
Cool.
And just let me know if you guys want to come. I'll get you great seats.
Perfect.
And we also have food trucks. So the event's called Laser Lights and Bites. So there's food trucks that come out, and again, it's all outdoors, COVID friendly.
It's good marketing.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, we have a really fun, engaged, energetic staff at the Science Center, even though we are very running lean right now because of COVID, unfortunately. But we still have a lot of energy. We're still creating new things. We're still trying to, pivot as we all are. And so it's a fun time. It's still a fun time for us.
Well, and constantly learning too, right? What works, what doesn't work, test, retest.
Yep, exactly. So hopefully the amphitheater will evolve into more than just that. And then on the weekends, of course, we have live science shows out there. So we'll blow stuff up on the science stage and have, bubbles going everywhere and loud music. And it's just so fun for the kids to get involved. And we see the dads get up there and, do the science with the kids. And
dad dancing,
you name it. And it's a really fun, family-friendly offering. It's really the best kept secret of Palm Beach County right now, especially with our outdoor offerings. A lot of people come to us usually when it's raining outside. Oh, let's go to an aquarium. It's indoors. Let's go to a science center, planetarium. It's indoors. But we're really an organization you can come to now on a nice day like today. It's sunny, 80 degrees out. You can come play putt-putt, learn a little bit about Florida conservation, and see live shows on our amphitheater.
I like it from the aspect of traditional history and educating the kids of science, and not only just, hey, here it is, but here, go experience it. Because I'm a visual learner, so I appreciate that, and I think that's what you guys do very well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting to see how everybody learns different, even as an adult. You're not just learning as a kid, even as an adult. And again, our mission is to open every mind to science. So we really try to find different events, different programs, even just different exhibits that come in that cater to different learning styles and different demographics.
I like that.
That's great. I always remember growing up, even subjects that I didn't particularly care for, if the teacher was exceptional, or the manner that the information was presented, always absorbed it. Or I can name off genus, phylum, species to this day, and I don't care about it, but I had a great teacher. And I love when we look at your content and everything, it's you make science fun, and then you're naturally just gonna learn and absorb it along the way.
That's interesting that you said that, because I learned that from a really young age. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I actually went to an art school from a really young age of 12.
Oh, wow.
And in an art school, you still have academics, and you're taught in the way that your art major was. So if you were vocal or theater or visual art, you were taught in those ways. And so that right there is exactly what you were saying. Everybody learns in a different way, and it's all about how you're taught the information. So if you come to the Science Center and you learn about an endangered species in a colorful and engaging way, that's going to stick with you, like what you were saying was sticking with you. So
wow, egrets are really interesting.
Yeah. Wow. And that alligator, I didn't even know, and I've lived in Florida my whole life. And so you guys get it. That's exactly what our mission is.
And I like it too, just because the history here is so old, rich, and kind of getting engulfed in that versus sitting back, I think is what I also, 1961, that's just freaking awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And we're the only public planetarium in the county. And we've had astronauts donate moon rocks to us before. Edgar Mitchell was really plugged into our science center. And we have a lot of different gifts from local scientists and, in South Florida in general. And so there's a lot of history that we try to incorporate into our new modern exhibits. We still have some of those classic pieces that you know and love.
Any megalodon teeth?
Megalodon teeth? No, I don't think so.
Shucks.
We might have them in storage. We've grown and expanded, and we have so many different things going on. So I'm gonna check on that for you.
I'm a shark's tooth hunter. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
I was gonna see if you had like a connection with the Mars rover stuff that's going on right now. Like you need a new Mars rock, like the new generation.
I know. Yeah, Perseverance. She's been doing great. Have you seen the footage coming through and the
amazing.
sounds coming through? It's breathtaking.
Really, really, really cool.
So were you involved with the junior league before getting this job? Like were you growing up as a kid or a teenager or in college?
I actually didn't know about the junior league until I started working at the science center.
Okay, cool.
To be totally honest with you, and I'm shameful of that because they're such a wonderful organization who do so much in the community, but I think it's a testament to how they work. They're not in it for their names or anything. They're really all about volunteerism and selflessness and how they can just better the community, which you guys totally get. So, but they're a wonderful organization. They've been around for many, many years, way before the Science Center. I'm not sure exactly when they were founded, but they're still very active, and I encourage all women to look into them.
That's cool. Let's discuss a little bit about the Real Bodies exhibit.
Yeah, that's why I'm here today, right?
Yeah, I like it.
The Real Bodies exhibit. So a lot of people we talk to have either seen a version of the exhibit before or, have seen YouTube videos on it or just content online about it. This exhibit, so there's several different versions of it. We have the one that's developed by Imagine Exhibitions, which we've worked with for a very long time. They're an internationally very well-known American-based company. So we've had dinosaurs through them, Titanic. We've hosted several different, astronaut. So they're great friends of ours, and they have a permanent bodies exhibit in Vegas. So if you're watching this right now and you say, "Hey, I've seen this in Vegas at Bally's," this is that same version. So 12 human bodies, full body specimens, and then there's over 200 organs and other plastinated specimens throughout the exhibit. So there's several different galleries that you walk through, and unlike the last bodies exhibit we had, which was very anatomical, and it was kind of just, it ended at that. This exhibit we have now, Real Bodies, this one is the anatomy textbook coming to life, but it has multiple different layers. So it's got a lot more cultural, emotional, and historical aspects of what makes us human. So in the digestive system gallery, you're not only learning about how your body anatomically digests food, but you're learning about the history of what makes us hungry and how our ancestors were hunters and gatherers and why we still get a rise out of, growing our own food, growing our own gardens, and just we get a rise out of the chase, and that makes us human. That historical component of evolution makes us human. So that's just one example of many different galleries. There's a circulatory gallery, there's a reproductive gallery, which is the love gallery, and it talks about love, and so there's many different layers of the exhibit. So not only can you see the human body and how it works, but you can also learn so much more and make emotional connections as you go through it.
I appreciate that because that's something that everybody's born with.
Yeah.
Everybody's born with love, right? And ironically, it's in the reproductive room.
It is. Yep, it is.
So does it have a picture of like a stork coming by, like dropping off the baby? Is that like,
Well, then we get into the programming behind it, and we are teaching a lot of these different galleries to kids, and then of course it's open to the general public. So it's very interesting to hear. As I walk through the gallery, you can hear different parents talking to young kids as young as 2, 3, 4 years old about the human body. And it really empowers them, I think, to teach the next generation about how to care for your body and, the different parts of your body. And we've even had letters written to us from the last version that we hosted of people saying, hey, my daughter wants to go to medical school now, or my
Wow.
daughter just graduated as an RN. Thank you so much for hosting these exhibits. It's really made an impact on her life, his or her life. And so these exhibits do much more than just entertain. They really are inspiring the next generation. So we're happy to host it.
That's special. And I was sharing with my patient yesterday that we were going to have you guys on the podcast. She, being a teacher, said, well, oh my God, I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, great.
Yeah, she said
Great.
she's been to the facility multiple times for field trips.
Good. Well,
So
we're hosting the exhibit through April 11th. So I know by the time this airs, you may not have too much time to come see it, but it'll be there through April 11th. So
really cool.
We'll see, if we can pull some strings with the producer and get this one pushed up a little bit.
oh, great. You know them?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we know
Okay.
those guys. But it is really cool to see because you are so impressionable as a kid. Like, things that happen to you when you're a kid shape you for the rest of your life. And you
Right.
see it a lot in like old people. Like, they have a fear of something that happened to them when they were 6 years old.
Right.
But like, if you could inspire somebody to want to learn or like almost choose their profession when they're like 5 years old, it's pretty cool. So it's nice that there's a place where you can take the kid. Like, you literally rattled off like 15 different things to go do, and like one thing might stick with a kid,
Right.
Hopefully it's not the mini golf. Like, I want to be a professional mini golfer, but everything else.
Hey, there's a lot of science in mini golf.
This is true. A lot of physics.
A lot of physics, exactly. But yeah, so not only do we have something like the bodies exhibit right now, but we also have a permanent exhibit that you also might be interested in, or if somebody's interested in the bodies exhibit. It's called Journey Through the Human Brain, and it was built in 2018 in partnership with the FAU Brain Institute. And it's actually the most advanced exhibit on the human brain in the world, which we recently learned through some studies. So that also has some plastinated specimens of the human brain. I think you showed me a picture of the spinal cord and the brain stem, and it's just really stunning and impactful to see it in person. And that's a very interactive, colorful, multi-layer exhibit. So you can go in there as, a grown adult man, but you can also bring, a young daughter, a young son, a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So there's multiple layers in that exhibit as well.
And it's fascinating. It's like one of the, it's the quickest quantum computer that we have.
Yep,
It really is.
it is.
So to hear that it's the largest exhibit around I think that's special.
Yeah, it's got a lot of technology in the exhibit. So say, the FAU Brain Institute made a new discovery today about something, neurotransmitters or something. It's such a quick high-tech exhibit that we can update that by, Monday morning and have new technology and new
Very cool.
research in there. Yeah, so we're doing really great things at the Science Center. Not only do we have these amazing traveling exhibits that come through, we have some great permanent exhibits too.
What's your favorite?
Oh, my favorite. Well, I have an astronomy background, so we are slowly starting to reopen my favorite part of the the museum, which is the observatory. We have one of the largest telescopes in the state. It's an F11 refractor scope.
That's cool.
And it's really, really cool. And the observatory is a smaller physical space, so we haven't had it open, but we're slowly starting to open it now and doing time tickets and experiences. But as far as, just our regular day-to-day exhibits, I love the brain exhibit. And then, of course, our new aquarium that we built a few years ago is really stunning, too.
Let's talk about that.
The aquarium?
Yeah.
So it's 10,000 gallons. I think I said it earlier about, and it's got, dozens and dozens of freshwater and saltwater fish. Most are native. We do have some invasive species to teach about what that is. Like, can you name
A lionfish?
A lionfish.
Wow, hey.
Yes, we have lionfish.
The friends of the show. Have you been to
Yeah.
Lionfish in Delray Beach?
I have not. I'm north of here, so
Oh, boy.
I'm not. But I've heard great things, and we totally support that.
If you're ever on the
because-
Ave,
Migrate
just-
down.
Yeah,
Good restaurant.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard. Didn't that just open like
Yeah.
a year ago or something?
Yeah.
And they pay local fishermen to go down and spear the lionfish, and then they serve them in the restaurant. And it's actually very, it's great sushi. It's great cooked. The lionfish actually tastes really, really nice if you're a seafood lover.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that you can eat them because they're like, aren't they poisonous? And yeah, they are. But if you prepare them in a certain way, I've heard that they're delicious. I haven't tried them myself. So
They like educate you on it
Oh,
too.
yeah.
When you're like in there, it's like,
Wow.
and this is the spines and we remove them and blah. Yeah. So it's very cool.
Very cool. They're horrible. They've really destroyed. I mean, not destroyed. That sounds so negative, but they've made a terrible impact on our local waterways. So it's great that we have organizations like that are they do the research and they step it up. So.
And the whitefish is incredible.
All their food was incredible.
Yeah, that's
their bang
true.
bang shrimp. I'm gonna get hungry just sitting here talking.
Now
Now
you had me at bang bang shrimp.
I know.
Okay.
Well, they have this ahi tuna curry, coconut curry.
And yes, I don't know.
Unreal.
Anyways,
So yeah, I'd highly suggest it. Needless to say.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Sounds good.
Let's say I'm a parent in Palm Beach County. What could I expect? Like, when should they show up? What's the parking? The tickets? When does it end? Like, what would be like a day that you would recommend?
So we're open 7 days a week, all year long. The only days we're closed is Christmas and Thanksgiving. And we're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6 on the weekends. We have parking right there in front of the Science Center. It's, free parking. And geographically, a lot of people don't know, where we are. But if you've heard of the Palm Beach Zoo, a lot of people have heard of the Palm Beach Zoo. They're a great sister organization of ours. We're owned separately, but we physically share a fence line. So if you literally just are heading to the Palm Beach Zoo and just go behind it, or if you come in through the north end of the park on the southern entrance to Delray Park, you will run right into the South Florida Science Center. We now have a 35-foot giant T-Rex that FPNL
Sweet.
donated to us. Yeah, she was installed a couple years ago right in front of the Science Center, so you can't miss it if you're driving through Delray Park. But
Did you name it? Does she have a name?
Yep, we had a naming contest. Thanks so much for asking.
I love it.
It's an important question. I mean,
Yeah. What's her name?
She'll be very happy that you asked about her. Her name is Rosie.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's bright red.
Wow.
You really can't miss her. She's amazing, just stunning. She's got a big mask on right now to promote, safety and all that. But she's great. So she's our new landmark. You can't miss her. But if you have young kids, obviously I recommend coming in early in the morning, and it's not as busy. But we have so many different exhibits for the young kids these days too. Not only do we have the bodies exhibit or the brain exhibit, you might say, oh, this might be over my kid's head a little bit. But we have those splash pads outside. We have a discovery center that's 1,000 square foot space. It has a really long water table. You guys remember light brights growing up?
Oh, yeah.
We have a giant light bright wall.
I love it.
So you can nerd out with that.
I'm just gonna go hang out over there the
Yeah.
whole day.
Yeah.
After I beat your family in mini golf.
Doubtful.
Yeah. There's so many things. And, we're a smaller museum. We're not, Museum of Discovery and Science down in Fort Lauderdale or the Orlando Science Center north of here that are, multiple stories. But we are the second busiest science center when you count visitors per square foot in the nation. So we serve a lot of people. Yeah, we serve a lot of people. We serve a lot of students. And it's just really any time. We have different programs throughout the day, different aquarium programs. So if somebody's interested about what we're doing this weekend or what events we have going on, I would check out the website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So 2 more questions.
Okay.
You mentioned something about memberships, and then I'd also see if you could touch on like ways to like give.
Sure.
So for
Thank
the
you.
non like just normal ticket purchasing person.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. Yeah. So we have many different membership levels. We have a individual membership, a family membership, and then a family plus. So it really depends on, your family size. And all those memberships go directly back into our mission and our operations to keep our doors open. Looking at the recent statistics, 1 in 4 science centers had to close their doors permanently because of COVID-19. And so we're really proud to have gotten all of the, certifications and the cleanliness accreditations to be able to keep our doors open and safely host visitors. So memberships are really great ways, and safe too, for you to support us and bring your family and have an educational, fun experience, get out of the house a little bit. But then if you want to just support in other ways, we are running some different events that are sponsorship driven. And we have, over 40,000 combined social media followers where we would promote that partnership. We have solid e-blast campaigns that we do, and many different ways that we can promote a sponsorship partnership. So if you're a business looking to support and it aligns with your mission, that's a great way to do it. And then also if you're just like, hey, I just want to throw you guys $10 so you can, help feed the fish, or I want to throw you $50 to support a kid going to camp. You can do that on our website too. Just go to the Support Us page and you can type in however much you want to give, what you want to give for, and we will gladly accept the support because it's much needed and much appreciated right now.
Well, we're a team. That's what Palm Beach is about, is the community.
Yeah, it is. And I wanted to touch that I am a Palm Beach native, and I personally grew up in this science center before it was the science center. It was the Science Museum. And I will say, if you haven't been in the last 5 years, even 10 years, even 2 years,
say 50
or 50, if you haven't been in give me 2 years, we have made so many renovations, so many expansions. I didn't even recognize it when I went back to interview 6 years ago. I'm like, oh, I grew up there. I'm going to know it. It's going to feel familiar. It was so new and exciting and different. And we are constantly making renovations and changes. And so definitely check us out. Even if you said, oh, I've been there, I've done that, or I saw it, it wasn't that great growing up, it was small. A lot of people compare us to the larger museums. We are a contender now, I will say. We are going in a really great, fun direction. We have energetic leadership. And so come and see us, come see the Bodies exhibit, come dive into the aquarium. And there's more exciting news on the horizon too. So maybe I'll come back on the show and talk about that later.
I like that.
Well, foreshadowing over here. But I can guarantee you that the Media Zone and the Palm Beach
100%.
podcast will be coming as for a family day.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
We would love to have you. And the weather's great right now, so definitely come on by.
Well, thank you so much for your time and sharing, your knowledge and obviously the history of this with our listeners. And we look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, cheers.
Salud. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Palm Beach Podcast. Our show is brought to you by Pump House Coffee Roasters, Hopportunities in Delray Beach, and the Lotus Travel Company for retreats and tours in Palm Beach County.